Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Alyssa Farah Griffin causes a complete meltdown on The View. There is a legitimate fight going on with these Democrat women who don't understand why their party is foundering. Let's dive in.
And she was asked if she had any political aspirations. She's very popular, I think. She'd be great. Does she have any aspirations for her own in the future? Take a look what she said.
We saw in this past election, sadly, we ain't ready. That's why I'm like, don't even look at me about running, because you all are lying. You're not ready for a woman. You are not. So don't waste my time. You know, we got a lot of growing up to do. And there's still, sadly, a lot of men who do not feel like they can be led by a woman, and we saw it.
She's right, so stop nominating me.
No, but you feel like this is a conversation we've had around this
Well,
table.
Italy has a prime minister who's a woman. Iceland, many African countries in the Caribbean.
New Zealand.
Golda Meir from Israel. Indira Gandhi, India. Mexico has a Jewish woman running Mexico.
Yeah.
But we are the only country. I mean, there's hundreds of them.
But I respectfully disagree with the First Lady, who, by the way, has been just absolutely serving looks on this book tour. I don't think that we're not ready. I think when we look at the two candidates who were Democratic nominees, Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, there's always sexism that plays in. They were flawed candidates. So Hillary Clinton, absolutely the most qualified.
The men, wait a minute.
Let me explain myself.
The reason they're moaning is because the men are flawed too.
Of course they are.
It doesn't matter.
That's the sexism. You give the top men. But with Hillary Clinton, highly qualified, but she was somebody who, it was an anti-dynasty time. They wanted an outsider. She had decades of dirt on her that people felt from the Clinton era. Jeb Bush flamed out that cycle. People did not want
then how do you explain that she lost after Trump?
Love Kamala Harris, but she was not a great communicator. She was not the best female candidate we're ever going to see run for president.
And I would argue that
we haven't had them yet.
I would argue that if
in my lifetime
Obama ran, that she could win.
I agree with that.
And she could win today.
When Kamala Harris was here, was it last month? In October, she came to talk about her book, 107 Days. During a commercial break, I actually asked her that question. Because at this table, we've had conversations about if we want to win, they need to nominate a white man, and that's it. I mean, this is a conversation that people. Well, but I've heard you say it. I've heard you say it.
No, I think you three agree.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree. I've never said that. And I asked Kamala what her reaction was.
That's not.
And she said, hold on.
Don't put words in my mouth, all right?
Okay, well, let me tell you what she said. She said, I refuse to tell little girls, particularly little girls of color, that they are out of the game because just of who they are.
Yep. And I think reducing people.
That's great. I think that's very aspirational, and that's wonderful. But because of my lived experience as an Afro-Latina, I'm able to look at this world with a different prism, and I'm able to tell this country and tell this audience and tell my fellow co-hosts some uncomfortable truths. This is a country based on racism and slavery. And founded in it, there is systemic racism
and misogyny.
And there are people that I've never met anyone that raises their hand and says, I am racist. However, there are people that seem to be able to look the other way when it comes to racism. So you have a president who traffics in misogyny, who traffics in xenophobia, who traffics in sexism.
And won.
And
he won.
And won against a black woman. So don't tell me that this country is ready for a black woman. Don't tell me this country is ready for a woman.
Hillary Clinton was one of the most qualified people.
But she was
Can I finish this sentence? Let me finish my sentence.
Well, I got interrupted.
She's qualified. She's more qualified than any man she's run against, in my opinion. And she lost to a reality talk show host.
Qualifications are not what decide the presidency. Right now should tell us that. There's a lot of factors that do. And she had years of. She was dragged down by her husband's baggage.
The Clinton part.
There's a reason why this country has only had one black male president. There's a reason.
We will see another black man, and we'll see a female president in my lifetime. I will be back in hopefully 10 years to
maybe
show
in your
you.
baby's lifetime. Okay, we've got to go. We'll be right back.
Y'all, The View just might be blind. Ironic for the name, isn't it? The whole reason I keep on having this book posted up there when I do even though I've got some other great stuff to read in the background, isn't just because I have 75 different cases of Joe Biden being clearly not capable of the presidency, but there's another great theme in this book. That is, they didn't trust Kamala Harris from the get-go. Their entire administration, the Biden administration, did not trust Kamala Harris. And The View right now is angry about that. I don't blame them. Having a token vice president, by definition, okay, that's Biden's own words. That was his whole thought process. When Stacey Abrams turned him down because she wanted more power and he said no, well, he was forced to be put in a completely different position, and they never trusted Kamala with anything. They didn't trust her to be border czar. They didn't trust her with intercommunications. They did not trust her with military abilities. And The View doesn't want to admit that, because that's admitting something that's deeply uncomfortable to them. Hey, y'all, what if I told you that most collagen products aren't just a waste of money? They could be loaded with toxins that lead to skin issues, heart problems, and even cognitive decline. Sounds scary, but it's true. See, collagen is the most abundant protein found in the body, and our natural supply runs lower as we age. That's why so many people are turning to collagen to help with joint pain, bone health, and even look years younger. But here's the catch. You have to know what you're looking for, or you might be doing your body more harm than good. So before you buy another tub off of Amazon or from your local store, go check out the top 5 collagen warnings that every American needs to see, and take advantage of this special offer. It's a real quick read that can help save your health and your wallet. Right now, get a special bundled deal at a fraction of retail costs plus free shipping. This offer is only available at getnativepath.com/brawl. That's GetNativePath.com/brawl. Meanwhile, Miss Alyssa over here is telling them the truth of the matter, which is more historic. But before I even get to that, I need to bring up a completely different book, okay? Something that I've been into over the weekend, Harry Truman, one of the most underrated presidents of all time. The whole reason he got picked is because he ticked his own checklist of boxes, and FDR did not trust him. All right, FDR was in a wheelchair at the time. He passed away a few months after his victory. He did not trust Truman with a whole lot of information. And that's sort of been a staple of the Democrat Party, that they don't like trusting their own vice presidents. Okay, Bill Clinton didn't give full support to Al Gore. JFK did not give full support to LBJ. More often than not, Democrats will have candidates that can combine their coalition. That changed with Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, so it flew in the face of some history, but Hillary Clinton lost because of not only the baggage of her own husband, but the baggage of the Obama administration, not to mention her own history. I never forget, she was in the room when they could have gotten the embassy clear of the Benghazi incident. She was in the room, and then later on it was revealed that she was laughing like a maniacal maniac when they took out Gaddafi. I wonder how Libya is doing today, by the way. But instead of admitting this whole scenario, this whole charade, The View continues to talk about this country just isn't ready for a woman. Yeah, I'm sorry. I would have voted for Condoleezza Rice. I loved supporting her. She was competent, pleasant, intelligent. She knew what she was doing. She didn't go outside of the normal boundaries of politics. This woman would have been president, but she decided not to run. And they're out here complaining that Michelle Obama is saying that we're just not ready. I'm sorry. Did Margaret Thatcher just completely escape the nomenclature of Democrats? Oh, wait, she did, and they celebrated when she passed away. And she was British. She wasn't even American, and they celebrated. The View doesn't know what they're talking about here because they know their audience. Their audience, the viewers of The View, don't want to admit that there are certain qualities that we're looking for in leadership that a whole lot of them at that panel don't have. And the one person who's calling it out properly gets shouted down multiple times. All because it doesn't fit the narrative, which means it doesn't fit their view. Funny how that works. I mean, Alyssa Griffin is out there trying to remind them that, hey, Kamala was not a great vice president. She wasn't an asset to Joe Biden. And then when they trusted her with any power, she didn't do a good job. And then Hillary Clinton forgot to campaign across the Midwest. Although personally, to this day, I still think that Colin Kaepernick kneeling during the national anthem was the straw that broke the camel's back for a whole lot of Midwesterners. And so, Trump beat Hillary while receiving less of the votes, but he certainly won the majority of votes in 2024. Mainly because, and this is a terrifying thought, maybe Kamala Harris was holding back the Democrat Party. We're starting to see some of that come to fruition here in the 2025 election, but we're not here to discuss that now. We're here to ask the simple question, why does The View get this so fundamentally wrong? I've already explained part of it, but the other reason is they're just so deeply entrenched in their own left-wing, elite coastal positions. See, in my family, the women tend to be more educated than the men. This is not a joke. On both sides, both my mother and my father's side of the family, despite having lived their entire lives in the South, with my father coming from the Blue Ridge area and my mother really coming from the Chattanooga area. And in both cases, the women tend to be more educated and often more intelligent than the men. That's sort of been the secret sauce to Southern success, by the way, is that we talk a big game about us men just being, we're going to chainsaw that tree, we're going to watch NASCAR, we're going to eat crystals, and you're going to like it. Well, the women are, yeah, we're the actual business owners, we do all the real work around here, and we have to raise the children. We're tired of our men's squalor, but you know what? We can live with it. That's sort of been the secret sauce, and The View doesn't like admitting that, because the most powerful thing these women are, particularly Southern and Midwestern women, is to be a mother, run the household, and make sure their men aren't going completely crazy. They don't want to admit this on the coast, but we can admit this in the heartland. That is the strength that we have in America. I quite literally think of it as the secret sauce to our success, from Appalachia to the Great Lakes, all the way out to our pioneer days. And we don't talk about it properly because feminists, they don't like admitting that at all. But that's my take on The View. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And hey, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Till next time, y'all have a good one.